Yo, what up everybody, it's Stewart, and today I am kicking off a series that I'm calling Metagore Mondays, or hashtag Metagore Mondays. Originally, it was going to be hashtag Metagore Monthly Mondays, because I had only planned on doing this once a month, which is still a plan at this moment. I might eventually do it more often, I don't know. I don't really know how long this is going to last, the series. I haven't set really many videos planned out yet. I plan on thinking of more and doing more. But basically what Metagore Mondays is going to be is me just talking about my book. I like doing writing tags. I plan on doing some more how-to videos like I did in the past. But honestly, I just like talking about my book. Alright, so I'm going to dedicate right now one Monday, one of my normal upload days a month, to my book, just talking about different things. You know, if y'all buy the book, y'all read it, there's anything y'all got questions about or that you think would be a cool topic for me to talk about in one of these videos, send me a message, comment, do whatever, email me, and you know, I can do a video about it. I don't care. I just like talking about my stuff, like I feel like most authors do. They just don't. I don't really see many authors on AuthorTube just talking about their book, except in like release day type ordeals, interviews like that, or in tags where, you know, you ask questions about your book. But just in general, they usually don't. So I am, because I don't care if I'm like everybody else. Today I'm talking about the lineup of the flags on the back of my book cover. If you buy the actual physical book, you will see that the back's got some flags on it. Also, right there, you can see the back. I don't know how well you can see those flags, but there's 6 of them. I know one of them's kind of dark. It's kind of off in the distance and shadowed over whatever. But there are 6. If you buy the actual physical copy, you'll see it. But there are 6 of them. To represent the 6 different kingdoms, which is something I really wanted incorporated into the book cover. Whether it was the front or the back, I wanted something that encompassed all 6 of them. And I really wanted the flags, mostly. If I couldn't get the flags, then I wanted to something kind of incorporate the cultures of the 6 different kingdoms. So I actually designed all 6 of those flags. Those are my designs. I've done them myself, and I sent it to my cover designer, and they incorporated it into the cover, which I was just thrilled by. You know, it's fucking amazing. But the order of those flags, I told them I wanted it in that order, you know, from left to right, or from y'all left to right. So I sent them just the pictures all together, just side by side, with the name of the kingdom underneath it, and that's what I wanted, and that's how I wanted it. You know, regardless, forward, back, I didn't care, but you know, side by side. Also, every time I do a book signing, I've only had one so far, which was on release day, which went amazing, I thought. I have some bookmarks made of different characters, which is the ones that Leo Featherstone had made. Those. And I have bookmarks made up of all of them, and I set them out. And I set them out in the same order. You know, the first bookmark and the first flag on the back is of centuries. So I had Darius, which is the Lord over centuries, first. And then it was Caprin, which is the Lord over Metzalir, second. All the way to Talene's flag, which Azrael is the Lord over Talene. And I set them out in that same order. And that's how I will continue to do, because there is a, I guess, a Easter egg type hidden meaning behind that order. And I'm not going to tell you what that meaning is. You will just have to read the book. It is something you should be able to kind of figure out if you read the book. If not, then I guess it ain't really that important to y'all. But there is a meaning behind that order. And that's how I will continue to do it. Once book 2 comes out, probably not, I don't know. I might, but for book 1, that is a significant meaning in a sense. It's got a secret message, meaning, I don't know, whatever. But it is in that order for a reason. It's not just randomly out there. But today, not only just talking about that, I wanted to talk about more the flags. The flags kind of represent the kingdoms, and I wanted to kind of talk about that. So I'm going to be posting the flags that how I made them right there in a few minutes whenever I'm actually doing the video. So if you don't buy the actual paperback, or you never buy a copy at all and you can't see it in that little picture that I had earlier, you will at least see the flag and what they look like, as well as if you just looked at the thumbnail of this video, I had it on there as well. So the first flag is of Centuries, which their flag is of a castle tower with some flames coming out of it. The reason for this is because Centuries, as the name suggests, Centuries with an S, is more of a guard type, protect type thing, you know, like a sentry's gun or a sentry's knight, talking about, you know, a guard to protect something. They are basically a fortress. Their kingdom is completely closed off from every other kingdom. If you look at the map in front of the book, or that map right there, you see Centuries on the far east of the map. It's basically by itself. You got water to the east, water to the west, and there is land to the north and a little bit the southwest. But those two regions where they are actually connecting to land has a wall, like an actual big, thick border wall known as the Brim, the northern brim and the southern brim. You can go to my website, link down below, got blogs on it. You can go to Centuries history, and it actually kind of describes the building of the brims in a way, or at least when, and you know, the reason behind it, especially the northern brim. But anyways, it was separated by a thick wall, and it's not like a wall like of a house or something. This wall is a house in a sense. It is a giant wall height-wise, like I don't even remember exactly how tall it's supposed to be. It's like probably 20-30 feet tall, as well as, you know, probably as thick as a regular house. I mean, this wall is a building in and of itself. There's rooms on the inside of the wall, both the northern and southern, and it stretches from the Sea of the Sun all the way to the Abyss Ocean on both of those. So it is a massive structure to separate the kingdoms. So they are completely closed off. They are very protective in a sense of their infrastructure. They are a stronghold. They are a Centuries in of itself, as well as the capital city has a capital wall around it. Also, they have a volcano. If you notice during the map, there is a giant volcano called Mount Dumas in the center of Centuries, basically center of Centuries, which is right where the capital was kind of set at the base of that volcano. And they have all kinds of iron veins and stuff like that in there, which builds, or that they use to build their weapons and armor. And they have a lot of strong metal work, you know, a lot stronger than the other kingdoms because of that. So they are very protective, whether it's, you know, their actual armor and shields from, you know, using the volcano as iron veins and stuff and forges, or the brims or anything else. I mean, they are very protective. They're very strong. They're very, you know, they're very armored. So that's what that kind of castle tower represents, is that stronghold that Centuries has. And the flames at the top represents Mount Dumas, the volcano. You know, the ever-flowing volcano. So it's the the banner is referred to as the banner of the burning tower, which is basically what it is. It's a tower that's on fire. But that's what that represents. The second flag is of Metagore. So that one right there. Also, if you'll notice as I go through these, every single flag is actually shaped different. I wanted them all different because the cultures are all different. And I wanted the flags to represent that. I wanted them to all be different. I didn't want all of them to be the typical same flag. Now, Metagore, as well as Alberans later, they had a different flag originally, which I do not have them made. I might make them later, but I have never made them yet. So this is what it is now. They used to have a flag. It was basically that same color, but instead of a serpent head, it was a trigon, which a trigon is a fantasy fish-like creature, which is more like a stingray in a sense, with more spikes and more deadly. But that's what a trigon is, and that's what they used to have. And then at one point, their governmental system got corrupted by the Blue Fangs, and they changed it to represent the Blue Fangs as a serpent. Which, if you read the history of Metagore, again, go to my website, go to my blog section, it goes a little bit more in depth about the Blue Fangs. In a sense, you know, it kind of mentions different Blue Fangs and exactly when the flag got changed and all this kind of stuff. But that's what that actually represents. It's the maroon was supposed to represent more of a muddy type water because it's a swamp region. I didn't really want brown, but I wanted like a darker kind of brownish color. Now, maroon at times can be, you know, like a muddy red. So I went that route, and I went in the blue because it really contrasted, and also, you know, the Blue Fangs and this and that, you know, and to represent the water, because they are both a fishing community. They are a fishing community. I don't know why I said both. They are a fishing community. They live in swamps, so it's both land and sea type ordeal, which is what their motto is we stand solid on both land and sea. So that's why I got the red, kind of represents more of the swampish type area, which is their land, and then the blue for the water. The next flag is of Brighthelm. Brighthelm is the original capital of Metagore, or not the original. It's the capital of Metagore at the start of the book before the war breaks out. It's the head of the kingdom. That's why their flag has a crown on it. It's referred to as the sword and crown, which is what's basically the capital is referred to. It's either referred to as the sword and crown or the city beyond the clouds, because they live up in the mountains, which is why I kind of got the gray, because I wanted more stone, snow, kind of muted colors for it. But they live up in the mountains, so, you know, go up high enough in the mountains, you go above the clouds. That's why Brighthelm got titled, you know, city above the clouds, or beyond the clouds, what they say. But the sword and crown is more of the political systems, what it's referred to as, and that's because it's got 3 crossed swords and a crown, which basically represents, you know, the king's guard in a sense, people that are sworn swords to protect the Lord, which was Brian at the beginning of the book until he dies, and then, you know, Cornelius takes over and yada yada yada. So that's what that is. Not really much history about their flag or anything. It's just the sword and crown, because sword and crown. The next flag is of Ringwood. Ringwood is a forest region. That's why it's kind of green. It's got like a tan color for the stag, because I wanted it more like a hide, and I didn't want a brown. I didn't want like a dark brown or anything like that. So since originally I was kind of thinking of a dark green, I didn't want dark brown. It kind of get muddy, so I went with a lighter tan color for it. So that's for the color. But it's forest. I wanted to represent the animals and stuff, so I picked a stag because I figured that would be more, you know, easily recognizable between the different creatures, since, like I said, everything is fantasy. So there's a creature called a Cerberus, which is basically a stag-like creature. It's a type of horse that's believed to have 1,000 horns, antlers, basically, you know, a bunch of points. It's a stag. And I wanted those antlers on the stag to kind of make like a ring to represent ringwood. And I had thought about adding leaves. To the end of the antlers to kind of represent more of the wood type ordeal. You know, ringwood. I don't know. I didn't, but that's kind of what I had thought of doing. But yeah, that's it for ringwood, really. The next is Albert's flag. Like I said a while ago with Metzelier's, this one did have a different flag back in history, and it got changed. The original flag was a green flag, kind of like this, as well as instead of the red owl-like creature, it was of a golden weak stock, because Auburn is a plains land. They are very much a farming community, and they, grow wheat as well as other crops. But that's what theirs originally was. And then their god Adazul got killed. One of their gods. They believed in Adazul and Trillis. Trillis was the god of the land, plants and stuff, and Adazul was more of the god of animals and wildlife and stuff like that. So that's what the two that they believed in, and Adazul got killed by the Lirish, which sparked the War of Snakes and such. Go to my blog on my website and you can read about that. But that kind of sparked that, and with the death of Adazul, the Emperor of Albaran at that point decided to honor their god, even though it's been killed, by changing their banner to the banner of Adazul, which is now just referred to as the banner of the Strix. A Strix is basically a fantasy owl-like creature with 4 legs and a more of a elongated, pointed beak that's they use to poke and suck blood out of stuff. They're like scavengers, but it's basically a red feathered owl with 4 legs. So that's what that is. But anyways, he decided to design that flag and make it the banner of Adazul. And then he had them build a large statue to represent Adazul and put it at the base of the river that separated Albaran from Metzelier. So that's kind of represents that. I haven't really talked about the different styles really of the flags, like how they're made. But if you notice on this one, the actual cross beams are just wooden branches, as well as the actual flag is more not really square or anything like that. It looks very just random, and it's because they are very tribal and very primal, and they use skinned hide that they get off of animals or whatever. They eat the meat and then they use the hide as clothes or whatever, and they actually use it as flags. They take the hide, they tan it, they dye it green, and then they get red and paint the Strix on it. They don't sew it. It's not 2 separate pieces. They don't take green cloth and red cloth, sew them together, whatever, like all the other kingdoms would do. They dye the hide green, then they go get like basically what they would use for their war paint, because they wear war paint when they go to war. But they would take that and then they would, hand paint the Strix onto it. I didn't really convey that in that because I didn't really see a point. But anyway, that's how they make their flags. So yeah. And the last flag is of Tallinn. Tallinn, if you can tell, is more a little pointed. I don't know. I just like that type. I wanted at least one flag like that. I also kind of divided it evenly into 3 triangles. Triangles ain't even, but it divided it into 3 triangles without too much problems. The 3 colors of the triangles, there's the gold, there's the red or maroon, whatever, and then there's blue, which is like a cobalt. And their army, the gold is their most dominant color for the kingdom, but all 3 colors represents their kingdom in some way. They are a desert kingdom, so desert in general is kind of, sandy, tan, gold, whatever. They are the richest, which in our eyes we represent as gold. To them, gold is like not that much. But their armies, they all wear golden armor. Their army is referred to as the Golden Men. They are very Greek inspired. They have the chest plate, like Greek chest plates, whatever. Maybe some gauntlets, and then they have that little skirt. I can't remember what it's called. But basically the Greek skirt thing, like Sparta and Athens and all that stuff wore. And I didn't realize it until after the fact. They remind me a lot of Sparta because they wear golden armor, and then their skirt and some of their straps are more of that maroon color. And then their generals, they have actual cobalt crystals protruding from like their back of their chest plate and their shoulders, as well as the top of their helmet and the back side of their helmet. And they wear cobalt colored capes in a sense. I don't really know what the actual word's called. I think there's a word for it besides cape, but they have a cape on the back that's cobalt, as well as those cobalt crystals, so you could tell which ones are the generals and which one are just the regular foot soldiers or whatever. So the gold is the one that kind of connects them all, and then the maroon is more for lower class, and then the cobalt's more the actual generals. And then the king or lord, like Azrael and all the ones before him, they also wear a lot of maroon. So the cobalt's kind of in the middle, but yeah. But that's kind of represents those three colors. Also, if you can kind of tell, it is more of a silky, finer material, while all the others were more bland in texture, I guess, just regular, basic cotton or whatever type of material that they would use for that, besides Alberans being animal hide. They actually use more of a silky type of material to make it out of, because they are the richest kingdom and they like to flaunt it around. So if they can make their flags look more expensive than anybody else's, they're going to do that. So that's why that is. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, that was about my flags of Metagore, and there's a reason behind that order. Like I said, you'll have to just go ahead, buy the book and read it. If you don't have any interest in buying the book or reading it, then I guess you'll just never know and you ain't got to worry about it. And if that's the case, then you ain't really got to pay any attention to these videos. So yeah, but every Monday or every month on the first Monday, I'm going to dedicate it to Metagore Monday. Like I said, I might eventually do it more often if I come up with enough topics to feel like I could do it maybe twice a month or whatever. I might do that, but as of right now, it's just gonna be the first Monday of each month. If y'all have anything y'all want me to talk about, anything in particular, very vaguely, whatever, just let me know. I'll make a video about it. You know, I love talking about my stuff. I love interacting with y'all, having a conversation. So just feel free to hit me up, comment down below, hit me up on social media, which all my links are down in the description. You know, you can go sign up to my newsletter. You can email me. My email's down below with all my links. You can do whatever, you know, just communicate with me, I guess. But yeah, that's about it. I got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, website. Everything is under DL Stewart Author, except YouTube, because I haven't reached that threshold yet. But once I do, that's what it will be under. My normal upload schedule is on Mondays. Bonus videos be on Thursday if I do a bonus. So just to see if I do, go click the subscribe button, ring that bell so you actually get notified, so you know when I do a bonus video, which I may, maybe not. I'll have a bonus video this week on Thursday, so you know, click subscribe, ring that bell. I'll let you know. You know, give it a thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't care. You do you, I do me.